But like I said, sex sells. That's always gonna sell. You're not gonna stop it.
Right? She's not gonna stop.
Whether if it's a guy making a song with a female on it, that's gonna sell. It's not. Nicki Minaj was. All her songs are. She got a song called Ass.
Yeah. Nigga, Lil' Kim said in the song she could swallow a whole spray can.
I get what you're saying. It's getting out to more people, but it's gonna get out regardless. I mean, whether Megan Thee Stallion make a song, whether Playboy sells something, it's sex just sells.
I get it. Sex sells, obviously, but I
get it's terrible.
Outside,
but you can't stop
when
it.
you try to relate it to touch a broader audience, and whereas it won't necessarily be, oh well, she said this is that. The kids these days gonna be like, oh, that's what that means, and then look it up and then see, oh, that's that music video, which is something that they probably shouldn't even been paying attention to, but because she tried to bridge the gap to make it more accessible to a broader audience, that's the problem that I personally have.
I mean, so you got a problem with these billboards you ride past on the expressway talking about Pink Monkey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to be mad about everything, man. You just can't be mad at me.
Because kids see that billboard,
I address everything that comes. I obviously can't get mad at everything because I don't see everything. I don't know everything.
Right.
Anything
that get mad at Black Queen.
I'm just mad she keep teasing us.
That's what we're enjoying.
That's my only beef. I'm tired of teasing us.
I just don't. I'm not a fan.
You just want her message to.
He just wants you to email him, man.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Like that's our business.
No, like that's not a thing.
Okay, since we was going there, well, I got a question for y'all. We're talking about this generation and whatnot. Is marriage a goal for this generation?
Hell no, it ain't.
Wow, okay.
It ain't. These niggas, motherfuckers is not trying to get married, bro.
Why you married?
Cause motherfuckers not trying to get married, bro. No, I didn't know. I wouldn't mind getting married. I'm saying.
But okay, Landon, is marriage a goal for this generation?
Honestly, no,
why?
Because being single and sleeping with everything and anybody is cool.
That's scary.
That is fucking scary. But you look at OnlyFans, all the women loving on each other, men loving on, sex is everywhere, bro. It's like men, it's everywhere.
Sex is everywhere.
And I'm saying, but people, and people, it's getting to the point where it's like people have this mindset. Well, I don't want to be locked down. And if I be locked down, the person I'm locked down with got to be okay with me having sex with other people. It's like motherfuckers want to be in open relationships and have polygamy and shit.
It's more like people want to value sex and devalue it at the same time, like by giving it away so much, but then they want to also value it. Be like, ooh, like people like bitches be like, ooh, I'm sorry, but women be like, ooh, yeah, I got the best pussy, but it's just.
But they don't want to lock it down to one nigga. They want other niggas to try.
But it's like
so you saying the message they putting out?
Niggas had it like.
What the hell?
Wow. I'm sorry.
But so, Sean, do you think marriage is a goal for this generation?
For certain people, a smaller percentage than it was before.
The number getting smaller, motherfuckers getting divorced by the minute,
it's
bro.
From myself.
So you think your age, so 25 to 35, they want marriage?
Nah.
I think that when people reach
let's do that. 25 to 35.
I think you know what I think about this generation. I think this generation.
What you think?
I think this generation.
Hold on.
Put your phone down, buddy. Hold on, real nigga shit. I think with this generation now is more about like getting like establishing themselves before they want to go ahead and plan a life with somebody. Back then, it was just that like okay, like you found a man, he went to work and shit like that. You cook clean, and then like you might get a job or you might get a career along the line. But nowadays people want to be like, oh, I want to become this. They'd be like, okay,
people got goals.
That relationship shit that can wait. Like, you know what I'm saying? They were like, I'm trying to finish this grad school. I'm trying to put out this mixtape. I'm trying to I'm trying to put this OnlyFans out.
Activate your dream.
You trying to activate your dream. That's what they're trying to do now. So that's what's different about the generation. So like a lot of people are putting off marriage and relationship like that because they want to activate their shit.
But once they get into them, they getting divorced. The divorce rate going up like a motherfucker.
Because people are still confused on what they actually want. They're like, damn, I want the relationship to work and this thing. I want to put in my effort and energy into this. But also, like, is this person going favor into my career? Is this person going to be supportive of that?
That goes on to why relationships not working because it's like people change. people's feelings change. People change overnight. Shit happens.
That's why y'all gotta connect and make sure y'all on the same path.
But we see motherfuckers with connections getting divorces, bro.
So regarding that. So do you think that's better now? Because I feel like back, I guess if you want to say 90s, 80s, I feel like people relationships. They were going through thick and thin. They made it last. They was going through a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But nowadays, a lot of people, if they going through something, we cutting you off. So is that a good thing?
The people not built to stand. People aren't really built.
But
people have a mindset like if it fuck up, keep it moving. People don't have a mindset. Well, let's try to make it work. And then on top of that, if you look at it now, back then, the internet, they didn't have the internet. They didn't have the accessibility. They didn't have this the temptation that these phones bring back then. So it's like back then you had to sit in the house with your wife. And we finna sit at this kitchen table and figure this shit out. Now you sit at the kitchen table with your wife and be on Instagram swiping and liking shit, bro.
But it's a lot of unhappy marriages from back then too.
That's true.
It is.
They just stuck it out and they just dealing with each other.
Guess what? You gotta think though, they stuck it out because they ain't really have nowhere else to go. They like, oh, I don't even want to be with him. He beat my ass, but I ain't got nowhere to go. Nowadays, you get your ass beat. This other thing is about me. It's been wanting me to come.
So in a way, that's why I say it gotta be a positive side. It's showing people that they could be stronger or whatnot, that you can leave. You don't got to stay with this person. Like, if you going through something, you can stick it out if you feel like they worth it. But you don't got to deal with that shit. Man, bro, like, it's not like back in the days. You will be okay. Especially if you with how the world is, you can be okay.
You don't, but you have a lot of people living that mindset. I'm living my best life single. So a lot of people they don't even have that mindset of looking. They not even people don't want to have kids no more. All of that shit that used to be traditional.
What's wrong with that? What if they
No, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong. I'm just saying it's like the times have changed from back our grandparents and now. It's like I said, temptation is way more. Back then, when granddaddy was cheating on grandma, his wife was on the other side of town, and they never even knew about each other. Now, motherfuckers, you cheat all of your Facebook Messenger, your Instagram, your Snapchat. That don't make it better. It don't make it. It makes it worse. It makes it way worse.
I look at it like this.
Go ahead, Josh.
Is people don't communicate as much as they used to.
People don't know how to communicate, period. And that's because they don't have to because of social media. I'm agreeing. I
get what you said. Like, back then, like, they communicated more, so they was able to go through more things with each other because they was able to communicate with each other.
How were they communicating?
I mean, talking.
They didn't have these. They didn't have this.
Yeah, you know. Simple talk.
They had to sit down in front of each other. They had to write love notes.
Okay.
Talk about what did it talk about? The husband beating her ass.
I mean, you want to act like that's.
He loved this domestic violence. He's sticking to this domestic violence.
But I think back in the day, though, it was more of a disgrace. It was so more about their face and how they would look to the other people. It was more of an embarrassment to get.
You couldn't tell me Tina Turner couldn't wish she was with Ike Turner right now.
That's what I get.
Or it was an embarrassment to be pregnant and not married. But a lot of people got married just because they don't.
The
babies. So now they got married.
That's what I'm saying. And they stuck it through. Don't even like each other.
Yeah. So I think now the goal of marriage is still there for some, but the respect for marriage is not there.
Facts.
So
that's really what it is.
Respect for marriage is not there, and that goes because the generation before us.
Right.
You know, we seen some of our, not ours per se, but some people say their mom and dad relationship, their marriage goes south. Same mama cheating on daddy and dad cheating. But like, well, hell no, I'm not getting married so somebody can cheat on me like that. Right. So they just seen already of marriage go left. So I believe the examples of marriage before them, some of them, affected how they outview and how they look at marriage in our generation. See, our generation, why I like our generation, we don't accept bullshit too much.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to BS me, I'm out. You know, even in marriage, it's okay, look, I ain't married to get a divorce, but if you're going to BS me, I ain't going to BS the rest of my life. I'm out.
Right.
So our tolerance is not up there.
That's why I feel like that should be what it is. If you not if your tolerance leave, like it's nothing wrong with not being with this person.
Yeah.
But I don't
people say, oh, people not sticking it out no more. Yeah, sticking it out. They was unhappy.
Why keep doing it? Right. You're unhappy. Why are you still there? That's a good thing.
Like, so the question for you now, like what how do you feel about that? This
marriage a goal? I feel like it's 50-50 because I see people, and I feel like people really do want marriage. They just don't put it out there because, like you said, that's not the agenda. But I think people really, like people don't. That's happy. Like people really want to be happy. At the end of the day. I think it's a big percentage of people that if they found that right person and it just happened,
and
they would be happy.
And a lot of people know they ain't really got what it takes to like, and they at certain stages in their life, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know you got if you know your credit fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Focus on that first before you you know what I'm saying? Like think about I'm gonna entertain this person and make them a report. Like worry about your own shit first.
All right, Humble, how you feel about this, Doc?
I'm kind of with O2. It's a little 50-50. I still think people want to get married.
That's a fact.
It's just that percentage is going down in this generation.
But I'm seeing a lot of people getting married.
I
be like, I see what people say.
But what's the percentage of those people who in there with marriage cheating too?
See, that's what's wrong. That's the thing. That's what's
wrong
wrong with people.
Y'all need to get a psychiatrist, bro.
Y'all go straight to the negative.
Bro. Y'all both
I'm not either therapist.
How we going straight to the negative? We don't know their lives.
Not necessarily.
The divorce rate ain't going up for nothing. That's all I'm saying.
The divorce rate is not going up. It's not necessarily for.
No, it's going up because a lot of people marry people that they got to deal with now.
No, it's going up because of a lot of people's incomes have changed in their house, especially during the pandemic. A lot of people's incomes have changed. The lifestyle.
These girls want to get on income tax.
That's over with. Or now, me as a man. Now that my money falling short, now I unawarely, unconsciously have an attitude all day and don't have time for little bullshit. So I'm going off on you for no reason. Because there's a lot more stress into the house now. That's why the divorce rate is going up.
What part of your vows say y'all supposed to stick together through that?
Your vows do say that, but you gotta understand though. Okay, yeah, we all make vows and make promises, but do we hold ourselves accountable to everything in that contract?
Man, they say that. Communication.
So me, I'm sorry, but to me, yeah, stick it out. I agree with, but you can only stick it out for so long. Before, I'm not telling you to stick it out and me keep hitting you in your eye, or you keep hitting me in my eye. I'm not gonna tell you to keep sticking it out.
Right.
Man, they say communication is the number one reason for divorce. So not all that other stuff, infidelity, all that is communication.
No, finances. Finances. Money. It is. I'm a married person and I look at a lot of different things because I want to better my marriage. The number one, especially right now this time, is finance. It's not the communication. I don't know, we might look at two different stats, but look at it. Went from a two house income to half of a house income. Finances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now we arguing about we can't pay the light bill. Damn, how we gonna figure out how to pay the car notes? Now we losing the car. We lost the car. Now we down to one car.
That's me now at these gas pumps.
Yeah. So it's a lot. Finances is a big thing in divorces at this time right now.
You know what? I think that it hasn't really changed too much from generation to generation, but we got to think about what have these kids nowadays seen. They came from a lot of broken households. You know, the dynamics of a family have changed from the 1950s all the way up until now. So, and plus these kids think more freely. You know, they have a different perception on the way life should be carried out. I'm not going to demonize that. Yeah. You know, I think that the way that this generation is carrying on is just perfect for this generation. It's always going to change. Right. You know, like because the people before us thought differently. We think differently than the people before. Right. I mean, alphas, you know.
What they said might not be right. That was right.
Yeah.
For
so
them.
It's like we don't want to be that old guy in the room saying, "Get off my lawn."
Hey,
because each generation gonna change. That's all I'm saying.
Hey. Yeah. That's good. All right there, man. Y'all was talking that talk, man. White Couch Podcast. I think we're gonna end it right there. Y'all make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Please follow, send us a DM. If y'all got questions, comments, or concerns, please send us a message from White Couch News.
Man,
also, please follow us. And listen to Apple Podcasts on Spotify. Give us a download. Give us a comment.
Remember to activate your dreams.
Download. Yeah. Don't forget that. Activate your dreams. White Couch Podcast, and we are out of here.
Activate your dreams.
We are out of here.